Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? This is Orlando, and this is also Late Night Right. All by myself tonight. Unfortunately, Kaz has got actually power issues this time, which is kind of unusual. But tonight, what we're going to be working on is going back to where Michael is and finding out what kind of stuff it is he's working on. Since we did a nice good 5 pages of Sean and Tanya, we can now move on over and break it up a little bit and take us back to Michael and see what he's up to. So I think we can just probably just get right into it. And 1 second. Yeah, just gotta check, make sure everything's up and working. Oh, yeah, we're good. And let's see. Alrighty. Share the screen. All that good stuff. There we go. And let me move that out of the way. Okay. There we have it. We are going to, well, I guess we just simply start where we start. Okay, what do we call that place? Can you tell it's been a while since I looked? No, it's not multi-tech. Yeah, don't you just love it, eh? See, now this would be the prime reason exactly why you make yourself a list of all of your locations. And then all the spots, different rooms that are within those locations. And there we go, it's imagy, right? Alright. And we're going to be... And this will be in, well, Michael's area. And this will be daytime, because this will run off at the same time that Sean and Tanya are on. You know, the night shift finishes, so now day shift is in, all that good stuff. So in this case, let's see. Okay, so we're going to have, okay, so Michael sits in front of a mass of monitors, keyboards, and cabling. How many of them are all hooked up? We don't know yet. How about more like a mess of... Oh, let's see, 7 monitors maybe? And 4 keyboards. How's that? And cabling, snakes all over the place. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's going to push his chair over to a keyboard, right? Behind that keyboard is a monitor. Okay, and on that monitor, we're going to see a requisition form that's already got a bunch of stuff already listed on it. So he's going to have specific type of cabling. Let's see, coax cabling. He's going to have the framework for massive amounts of tower card slots that you would have to build in. You'd have to have different card types, and of course there'll be chips that go along with that, and all your screws and your tools and everything that you need will all be around that area where he's working. And I think the main thing that's going to be different about this is he's going to use disk drives. And that'll be so that what he's doing can't be found out by, you know, other other technologies, because it can be worked on offline completely. So that would be the reasoning for behind what we're going to be trying to build into this particular scene is this requisition form is he's going to put one more thing on it, and then he's going to you know shoot it off upstairs, right? So we'll just type that right in here, and I'm guessing the disk drives will be the thing that he puts on last. I think so. Okay, now this little word here, insert, what that means is you want the camera to actually focus on it. So we're not going to be seeing Michael doing the keying. We're not going to be seeing all the rest of the room. We're not going to be seeing any tools. We're literally going to be seeing the word being typed on that requisition form. And that's what an insert does. It makes, it gives the writer the ability to let the director know what to focus on specifically. So that works out really good for most people. And, okay, so we need a quantity of. So we're assuming by the characters they have here. Alrighty. Going through it. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 guys with Michael makes 6. So we have 6 actual workstations. And if each workstation needs 2 or 3 hard drives, or disk drives, I should say. Well, hard drive, pardon me. Well, I think we'll leave it as singles for right now. There we go, 6 solid state hard drives. Which means, of course, that it's an automatic that they come with a disk drive, which also allows them to use physical disks on their computers to program what they need to program, or to they can also reverse that and make disks off of that for themselves of whatever the different components of the programming are going to be, that everybody, all these 6 guys, people, are all doing different parts of the whole. So everybody is working together on the same project, but they're all working on completely different avenues that will eventually be brought together. Alrighty. So, alright. So, Michael, of course, is going to hit send, which means that's going to be sent off, upstairs, or to the, at least to the main office, so that he can requisition the parts that he needs so he can complete or continue the work that's being done. Pardon me. So now we're going to go and see Alright. And we're going to have Josie is the one that does the requisitioning stuff. She goes through it all. So we're going to put ourselves here in Josie's office, and her computer is going to flag her. Alrighty, so her computer is going to ping, and it's pings and flags an incoming internal message, which is different than an email. This is something that would only be seen within that office building. It's an inter-office workspace. Okay, so she's gonna look over at it. She's going to open it. Okay, so she quickly reads it over, and we're gonna add in here that not impressed. She makes a print. And then from there, she grabs the print. On the way out the door. Yeah, let's make this all one slick movement. Literally from the reading to her getting up, hitting the print. While it's printing, she gets up, grabs the print on the way out the door. And the camera just follows her. That'll work out really cool. Right. So now we're going to go back down. And we're going to go back to Michael's area here. And it's daytime. Okay. Let's add something else here. Okay, so first off, we're going to hear the sound of the elevator, and then we're going to hear heels that coming down the hallway. And this is what Michael has heard, and this is why he turns away from his typing. Okay. I don't know. Should Michael be blunt and just say, any problems? Hmm, that's a good question. Maybe it just shouldn't be Michael. Maybe it should be Josie. Yeah, she needs to know what these are for. Oops. Get back here. There we go. Alrighty. Of course, Michael says, okay, which one? Alright, and... Alright, that's better. Okay. Alright, so Josie smokes at Michael, and then she says, well, how about we start at the top? And so, you know, I deal with these all the time. She turns the paper. I need to account for every piece. Why do you need them and this many? Okay. All right. So Michael has said you have to take into account that we have 6 separate workstations, which means, and she cuts them off and says 6 of everything. Yes, yes. We know this. Okay, so Michael says, okay, so what is of issue? Josie says, she said some of these are going to be hard to find. Okay, Michael says, yeah, the drives for sure. But I know someone. Oh, you do? She says shoot as in go ahead, right? Yeah, so Michael looks a bit sheepish, so she's gonna be, how can I? So how can I order something from no one? Okay, so, yeah, Michael says he's gonna kill me first chance he gets. But, and then he gestures for the paper, he turns it over, and it writes on the back. And then Michael says, AI can't see that. And she sure can. So it. No, I mean we can't let it see that. Or the gig's up. Okay, so thoughtful Josie looks away. And then straight to Michael. Okay, serious Michael nods. After she looks away thoughtfully and then straight back at Michael. And Josie says you can reach this, shall we say, client? Yeah, Michael says, I can. Oh, he only takes Bitcoin. Yeah, maybe I should say they. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so we got the client, and Michael says, I can. Which means he can reach those people. And, oh, they only take Bitcoin. And Josie asks him, which one? Michael says, well, whatever you have. It's, uh, it's easy enough to swap it out. Okay, so she's going to see what she can arrange on that particular score. Okay, she says, I'll see what I can arrange. And then asks, what about the chips? Well, chips are chips. We can modify as we go. It's not so easy for the cards, though. Alrighty, so chips are chips. We can modify as we go. It's not it's not so easy for the cards though. There are some specs we have to keep solid across the boards. And in this particular case, he's meaning across all the different work sections. They have to have some basic running system and way they're going to set things up in order for them to be able to be interlinked later. Right? So they have to be able to, well, talk to each other, right? Okay. Josie's still not sure. So she says, still, this is a lot. And Michael says, it's nothing compared to the First Order and the hardware we're making. With all the materials that require. Okay, so Josie purses her lips and almost glares at Michael. Okay. You want to rule AI? Hmm. Okay. You want to rule AI? Josie barely nods. Michael continues with, then we have to go around. And he gestures with his arms to show a 3D sphere. Okay. Okay, then we have to go around. He gestures with his arms to show a 3D sphere, which means all the way around, front, back, up and down, all the way. And he says, all the way, without it detecting the trap. So it's the trap itself is what Michael plans to do, as far as they know. And that takes. Alrighty, so yeah, and he continues. That takes pretty much an approach that is too old for it to be able to see. Josie almost smiles. Okay. And yeah, Josie almost smiles and says, "Beneath its majesty." And Michael grins and nods. And Josie says, "Okay, I'll get you. You'll have your funds." Okay. Okay, you'll get your components. And of course, Michael says, "Thank you very much." Uh, and he pauses. Of course, Josie notices. What else? How about more like there's more? And of course, Michael just says, "It would be great to know when they're coming." Okay, so Josie shakes her head. Can't help but smile. No problem, she says. So technically, in this scene, even though it was meant to be completely like her finding out what all kinds of stuff and what he's going to be, what he needs all these parts for, as in not necessarily what he's building, in the computers, program wise. What are you physically building? Which he never did answer. So at some point, she is going to have to, if she really wants to know more, She's either going to have to come and ask him or, like, literally say, well, it's, you know, I still have no idea exactly what it is you are building, you know, not necessarily a matter of it being the program part or the internal workings, but what is this physical machine that you're building? And what will it be capable of doing? And I imagine at some point she's probably, well, if not her, the company is going to want to know who's going to be looking after this and who's going to be running this, and is it just me that being the boss or something? Just I just push a button and it's done, and it's going to have that kind of fun twists where Michael has to maybe tell the truth, but not all the truth, which is where part of these different pieces all coming together are going to. We'll have to wait. Actually, we'll have to wait, and we'll have to see if other people from the office are going to come down and visit, which we planned on having at least one of the other guys coming down, to see how things are going and all this other kind of like yeah, like a weekly check-in, you know, mission report, all that good stuff. They've got to have specifics for their shareholders, so to speak, right? Because this is a corporation, right? They have to answer to other people, right? And in the giant scheme of things, what it comes down to is, okay, which section of the world is going to run it? And they want to be the ones to run it. They want to be the top of the pile as a corporation. So all the other corporations would be beneath them. And this is how we're going to have to play it to run it with the people at the top that he had originally met way back at the beginning there, type of thing, and with his phone buzzing and all that good stuff. Um, so it's going to be actually kind of fun because I think now where we'll end up going is I believe we're set up now. Alrighty. So obviously next week, because this is daytime, we had Sean and Tanya and the boys. That was morning. And then this is daytime, so this is when they're sleeping. And then what we'll end up doing maybe is I don't know. I don't know. We have it set up here for Tanya and them, like for, Tanya to have to go to work, right? And then she's going to have to drop off Sean and the boys somewhere along the line. See, and after that was when we were going to have a Michael scene. So what we did is we pull the Michael scene up so that it would end up being give us a break in between where we see Tanya and Sean are going to bed. Meanwhile, there's Michael working over at his where he is, and then we'll come back for evening, and we'll literally get them going. Like, a lot of what we wrote about is how are they going to avoid cameras, using back alleys through backyards, stuff like this. Now we have to physically do it. Right? Um, so yeah, this is gonna work out really good because then we get them going right, uh, and it's just one paragraph we have written here to describe that whole scene and how it's going to play out. We're going to see the guys actually doing the actions, right? And then we go off to probably we'll be going off the into the parents with Andrew and Olivia. So I'm just going to mark that right here so I have it. Okay, so there we go. Just like that. It's done. Note. And that is never going to disappear. Alrighty. So this has been all, yeah, saved it and everything, so we can get rid of that. And let's see. Yeah, well, this is on YouTube. But also, if you want to take a look at Ventura's Innovative Pictures, that would be where I'm a script editor. They also have a YouTube, and from there you can go to the website if that makes it easier for you to find it. And other than that, well, I hope everybody liked it, and I hope you'd like to give us a follow, and yeah, throw us some questions, guys. We would really love to hear them, and we would like to literally on here try to help you fix whatever it is you need. Just be sure to give us a decent idea of what it is you need help with. We need to have a little bit of a hint of what happens before and after and what kind of thing happens in the middle. That way we can, it's much easier to be able to figure out what it is you're intending it to be, but it makes it easier for us to figure out how to fix or to improve or to expand or to shrink on what you already have there. And that's the way we do a lot of our stuff. Because once you get your first writing down, then you go through and you start running all the other what ifs. Because now what you need to do is, if you've way overwritten, which means you have to cut out some stuff, which means you have to refine what it is you had already written and make it more concise. Which it isn't just a matter of, cut off the beginning or cut off the end of a scene. If it's important things that have to be done, you have to figure out a way to blend them in together with the other things so it all comes into play in a more compact way. And maybe even, it might even be better or more of an impact than you thought it would be because of the condensing. It just might make it that much better. But anyway, on that note, this is Orlando, and I'm saying good night, and we'll see you all next weekend. Bye.